There was a golden lawn in front of a building in heaven. The size of the lawn was incomparable with those I've seen in the world. The flowers were also extremely large. I was mesmerized by the flowers because they were so pretty. Then the Holy Son picked one and gave it to me. But from the very spot he had removed the flower, a new one immediately blossomed. The flower carried a sweet fragrance like that of mandarin oranges. Its sweet aroma permeated the air to the point that I wanted to eat it. Interestingly, the petals of the flower were moving and alive. It resembled a tulip, yet very different from the ones on earth. I saw a tall and brilliant castle. It was so high that I couldn't see the top. The castle was transparent and shone like a diamond. It seemed very tall and majestic, and it radiated with a dazzling light. The inside of the castle was transparent, so I was able to see a light inside. The light was in the shape of a water drop and was very big. When I looked at it closely, I realized that it was actually a light made of diamonds. A big hot air balloon was afloat above the extensively wide sea. The exterior was in the shape of an Arabian palace roof and was sparkling with the glow of rainbow colors. The basket underneath was made of gold, and the balloon and the basket were connected by 7 ropes. Each rope shone brilliantly and emitted a soft glow. The hot air balloon was hovering immediately above the sea as if it were about to graze the water's surface. The seawater was so clean and clear that I could distinctly see the big fish contained within it, and there were many giant dolphins that were white and pale yellow. They were jumping really high out of the sea. The Lord was standing in the basket, holding a long and thin golden wand that was approximately 1 meter long. When he drew a circle twice in mid-air above the sea, I could smell a lovely flowery aroma. And when he drew a circle twice in mid-air to the left, from afar, angels came, riding on individual boats that were heart-shaped gems. They functioned as boats, but resembled lotus blossoms floating on a pond, and the approaching angels looked as if they were riding on heart-shaped pillows. The angels appeared to be the Lord's choir, and the sight of them praising under the Lord's conducting was so beautiful. At the top of the beautiful and enormous palace were conical light yellow rooftops. 3 layers of circular gemstone marbles adorned the area immediately beneath the pointed roofs. The building itself was entirely white and seemed to be comprised of 7 palace buildings. Outside the palace, young angels were wearing sky blue robes and blowing round trumpets, exclaiming, "Rejoice!" and "Give thanks." They were declaring that this was heaven's castle of the righteous. The Holy Son spoke,
"Heaven is a world of righteous merit. What kind of wealth and fame a person had lived with on earth is not important. According to how much a person had lived for the Lord, their entitlement to come to heaven and how they will be treated in heaven are determined. The righteousness that they had acquired on the earth determines their life in heaven. Even if a person was famous while on earth, it is important whether that person had lived for other people or for me. If they had lived for people, they could become famous, gain wealth and glory, and be well off in a high position on the earth. However, if they had worked for me, the Holy Son, and run the business of saving human lives together with me, then they would live, being treated like someone who possesses the greatest wealth and fame at the highest position in heaven eternally.
After looking around the Love Castle with the Holy Son, when the tour was coming to its end, we entered into a room. There was a huge mirror that was designed with gold in the room. The mirror was very clear. I asked the Holy Son what kind of mirror it was, and he told me.
This is the mirror of inner nature, the mirror of thoughts. Through this mirror, you can see what you are thinking.
I saw a hill that was covered with grass, and at the top of the hill was a castle that was very majestic and had a brilliant gold gleam. The shape of the castle appeared to be several crowns that were erected and overlapping with each other. The color of the crown-shaped castles was smooth gold, and the middle of each castle was a blue and shiny gemstone. On both sides of the blue gemstone, there were 3 gemstones that were embedded. Behind the castle, I could see a mountain that sparkled with silver. The curve of the mountain was beautiful, and the mountain looked thin and flat. The outline of it seemed to have a blue shade to it, but overall, it shone brilliantly with silver gleam. I saw a long triangular building emitting a dazzling hue of blue. Surrounding the building was a sky blue colored lawn, and on that lawn were 100 young angels. They were positioned concentrically in the shape of a fan, 10 angels per unit. The angels appeared to be 3 to 5 years old and were all dressed in long sky blue dresses with half sleeves. Looking at them, the Holy Son said,
"These angels are the ones in charge of delighting others. They are also young members of a choir. A total of 100 angels have gathered here. Of course, a countless number of baby angels can sing praises. However, you'll be able to understand better if you think that the ones gathered here are the representatives of all the singing angels. The baby angels here form my professional choir that writes and composes praise songs only about my advent."
I said to the Holy Son that I wanted to see the interior of the Love Castle. He then exclaimed, "Let's go and take a look." The interior was even more beautiful than the exterior. It glistened with brilliant pink, gold, and red light, and the floor was golden. Immediately before me was a fountain, also made of gold. An assortment of small jewels were embedded throughout the fountain. Water was spewing from it like jewels, and behind the fountain were countless stairs. In fact, the stairs filled the entire ceiling, and the ceiling was so high up that Elle couldn't even see it clearly. It was a truly breathtaking scene. There was a very grand and huge castle on a hill of clouds. It was in the shape of a crown. The color of the castle was a beautiful red like ruby. On top of the central part of the crown was a dazzling gigantic diamond that emitted a shining, bright blue light. Outside of the castle, there were countless small castles protruding around, and the castles were all adorned with countless kinds of jewels that displayed the 5 cardinal colors. I asked the Holy Son what kind of castle this was. The Holy Son said,
"This castle is the castle of love. Love is the core of this castle. Likewise, the core of this castle is that diamond. I want many people to be able to enter this castle."
It looked like a butterfly that was flying past me. The castle was positioned in a way where I could see the side of the butterfly. Its wings were slightly folded, and its body was erected at a 45-degree angle. The whole castle was shiny and made of beautiful gold. Attached on the butterfly's wings were small round-shaped diamonds, pink diamonds, sapphire, amethyst, emeralds, and ruby gems of varying sizes. The tips of the butterfly's antennae had golden balls that sparkled dazzlingly with pretty glitter. The torso was made with diamonds and it emitted a golden light. The gold on its wings and the diamond on its torso reflected their lights onto each other, so it shined with a sense of harmony. Lastly, the butterfly was outlined with a dark orange-colored gold. The Holy Son said, "This castle represents new changes.